3 weeks ago, I got back from nearly 11 months of sabbatical travel all around the world. I hit 30 countries, starting in Bali and cruising all around Asia, then hitting Central and South America, finishing out in Europe. I wanted to make this video to talk about the main things I learned while traveling the world, taking a year off from work to just explore, so I hope you guys enjoy. So the amazing and also very difficult thing about being on the road for so long was the fact that I didn't have my basic routine. I was kind of always outside of my comfort zone every time I went to a new country or a new city or a new place. And the fact that I was able to figure out a routine and kind of make normalcy out of every week being not normal, that really is one of the amazing, unique parts about solo travel. And Anthony Bourdain says, "Don't be a tourist, be a traveler." When I was traveling, I would try to find local music. I would try to find the local spots, the local restaurants. I'd always try to go find a gym to make friends and kind of talk to the local people of the community, because I didn't just want to go to the touristy spots. I wasn't staying in hotels and just going to the things that, the tourists do. I really tried to become a traveler and really get to meet and learn about the culture. I wasn't really spending money on clothes or on trinkets. I was spending all my money on food and experiences, and the personal growth that I developed because of the fact that I was outside of my comfort zone, the fact that I was in a new place, it really gave me that self-confidence. And when everyone asked me what were some of the main takeaways you have from solo travel, I really think I just gained a lot of self-confidence because I was able to make it happen outside of my comfort zone in unique situations, and also just really get comfortable with being with myself and being lost and having to ask for help. And that kind of brings me to the next thing when people ask, what did you learn? I think being in so many different countries and meeting people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different languages, I think that people are a lot more similar than we are different. Whether I was in Japan, whether I was in South America, if I was lost and I would ask somebody for help and ask for directions, almost always people are taking time out of their day to try to direct me, try to show me how to get to my Airbnb or, the restaurant, or asking, sometimes I'd ask just strangers what their favorite restaurant is in town. And I think that honestly people, if we give them the time of day, if we give them the opportunity, people are here to help us out. There's all this media that, and I feel like if you watch the news, you think everyone's out there to get you, or maybe your side and your position is so different than the other side. But being in all these different countries, it was really amazing to see how many people would take time out of their day to help me, would take time to, give me their list of recommendations. And I think people love showing off their home. I'm here in Santa Barbara, and when people ask me about my favorite places or my favorite things to do, I'm really proud to live here. So it's really fun to share and explore and help people find, my favorite things in this great town. And that's what I really experienced as I traveled, is that so many people were there to lend a hand and kind of offer me their guidance, which was awesome. Another thing I learned this year for sure is, honestly, I feel like we live in the best day and age to travel, especially as a solo traveler. With the apps and the tools and the technologies that we have, it's never been more accessible and easier to travel. Some of my favorite apps that really made traveling awesome were Hopper. That's a flight app where you can use it all across the world, and it checks different prices, different airlines. When you're in Asia and you're looking for a budget airline, or in Europe, oftentimes you can get a flight for $20 or $30. Hopper is a great app to use. Obviously, Google Maps, Google Translate, Google Search, so powerful to find restaurants, to find, you can take a photo with the Google app and have it auto-translate. If you're looking at your laundry machine, per se, and you want to figure out which one is the athletic or the delicate cycle, and it's in Hebrew or it's in Japanese. Uber obviously is so nice to have, because so many taxi companies, especially if you're in more developed countries, are going to be scams. So I highly recommend always using Uber or whatever the local ride service app is. There's even apps to meet up with solo travelers, like Going Solo. That was a cool app to use to find other travelers to, go do things when you're, solo traveling. Hostel World, if you're into finding hostels. And obviously Airbnb was the main one that I used for my housing. All across the world I found, whether it's Colombia, whether I was in Helsinki, Finland, if you look for studios and one bedrooms, you can oftentimes get a really nice place for way even cheaper than a hostel private room. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive than a hostel dorm, but oftentimes it's a half or a third of the price of the hotel. So I really learned how to be travel savvy, obviously, being on the road for so long, and using the apps and the platforms and the technologies I had was a really helpful way to really lock in and find, my way home, to make sure I was safe, to find a good place to sleep, to find laundry near my house. So obviously learning how to travel and using tech was okay. To wrap things up, the last thing I'll say about doing extended solo travel, at least for me, it really gave me the peace of mind and the understanding, a deeper understanding about who I am. I had so many dinners alone, times to walk in parks alone, explore museums alone, and being alone so much gave me a lot of time to think. It gave me time to ponder, time to think about life. It was really a great reset and break. I'm such a extrovert, and I love being social, and I love being surrounded by people. So it was really weird for me to spend, extended time alone. Of course, I made friends. There was a lot of people that I came to meet up with me, got to meet up with my parents, my brother, friends from home came to meet up with me in cool locations. But the time alone was really, really important. And at the same time, all that time alone, I've never been more grateful to be at a dinner with a friend or a loved one now. You forget how important it is to have those people that always have your back surrounding you. And I missed a lot of people when I was gone, of course. And that's why, I only wanted to do this for 11 or so months. I didn't want to just continue to go on. I miss my people. I miss my community here in Santa Barbara. I miss doing what I love, which is, helping people and selling real estate. And it feels so good to be back. But for anyone watching this, if you've thought about taking a sabbatical, whether you're graduating high school, graduating college, you have a break in work where you can just take an extended trip, I think work is always going to be there. It seems like we get so caught up in always trying to focus on our career and our professional development. But the time to travel and to not have as much obligation or expectation back at home, it kind of comes here and there when you're in between jobs, or maybe if you have some freedom, or if you've graduated college, and you're going to never regret taking that crazy adventure, going on that trip, even though at the time, it can seem like it's either a lot of money or not super responsible. A lot of people were talking to me saying, how can you leave, such a, solid business that you have and leave? And I was thinking, if I don't do it now, I probably will never do it. And I'm super happy that I did it. I made amazing memories. I met the best people. And if this video brings you any help or any insight at all, and if you should go take a trip, I say go for it. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing and liking to the channel. Would love to hear in the comments below if you've ever gone on a trip like this, or if you want to go on a trip, where you'd like to go. I have travel recommendations to the 30+ countries that I've been to, Google lists. So if you have questions about where you should take your next trip, or want a recommendation of where to eat, whether you're in Tokyo, whether you're in Medellin, Colombia, or in Rio, Brazil, or in Europe, in Helsinki, or in Krakow, Poland, I got your back. Give me a DM or send me a message in the comments. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.